Support the Bronx Beartics in Season 2 of the UCL. You can pick up a shirt or hoodie till July 31st. Link is down below in the description. Yo, what's up, guys? You got pokeaimMD here, or pokeaim, or Joey, or aim, whatever, coach of the Bronx Beartics. And I am the Season 2 coach of the Bronx Beartics, as well as the Season 1 champion, and, you know, still coach of the Bronx Beartics in Season 1 as well. Our team didn't change. But anyway, today we're going to be doing, or I'm going to be, I'll be showing you guys my team builder for battle number 1 versus David and the South Beach Slowkings. So we'll be playing the South Beach Slowkings this week, and the battle goes up, I believe, Saturday, and looking at the times that they have left, probably around 2 p.m. Eastern. I think the battle should be up Saturday around 2 p.m. Eastern. By the time this video goes up, I would already have played David, so if you're wondering, wait, Joey, what if David watches this video? Good, I want to watch this video. I want to lie. I made a fake team builder today, and my real one's going up on Friday. No, but David and I have already played, most likely, by the time this goes up. I'm recording this early on Thursday, and I'm playing David in a little bit. So the reason this is going up Thursday is because Friday, I'm not sure if I'll be able to record it. I have a few things set for Friday to already go up, maybe like a live and things like that. But I wanted to record this and get it up because I don't think it matters whether it gets up or goes up Thursday or Friday, as long as I've already played my opponent. So David's team consists of Landorus, Therian Form, Mega Altaria, Keldeo, Entei, Porygon 2, Celebi, Electros, Escavalier, Togetic, Gastrodon, Steelix, and Muck. Now, the way I go about building things, I actually built with my boy CBB. So big shoutouts to my boy CBB. The way I build these teams, or I built these teams with my friends, is I make sure that I can take on, and I stress this every single team builder last year, I make sure that I can take on any combination of 6 that my opponent wants to bring. That means whether his obvious choices are Keldeo, Entei, Mega Altaria, Landorus T, Escavalier, Celebi, Steelix, whatever his obvious choices may be, I don't care. I want to make sure I can beat anything so I don't get beat down. My boy Kyurem, but we'll beat down him out. I don't get beat down by any random mon that I wouldn't expect him to bring, like a nasty pot, baton pass Togetic to Scarf Keldeo. I don't know, something like that. Actually, that would be kind of threatening. But yeah, that's the way I build. So I typically, I mean, I have like a good feeling of what David will bring, what works best versus me, but that doesn't mean I'm not safe versus other mons. So this week was actually a really tough build for me and CUV, because so many mods I wanted to use, especially because it was week 1 in the UCL, and I was like, oh man, I want to bring the captain of the Bronx Beartics, Manaphy. I want to try out Garchomp. I want to use all these cool mons. Unfortunately, the way we built, Manaphy did not end up coming out this week. And while Manaphy would be really nice versus him, because it literally has every single coverage move in the game, I went with a different build with CEV. So let's just go over the team real quick. Now, the first member of the team that we are bringing is my boy CBB, the Snorlax. I named it after CBB because CBB is German, so he's like white. No, I named it after CVV because every single time I do like a random live with CVV, whether it being UU or we play ADV or OU, I feel like there's always a Snorlax that we use. So I just named this after CVV. So Snorlax will now be CVV for the Season 2 of the UCL. Now we're going to be bringing Curse-Lax. Curse, Body Slam, Fire Punch, and Rest. Body Slam hits everything, and Fire Punch hits everything that Body Slam does. And Fire Punch is only there for Escavalier as well as Steelix, while Body Slam, those are his only 2 normal resist, and they get destroyed by Fire Punch. More so Escavalier than Steelix. Steelix obviously can tank hits, but we're just bringing a Curse Snorlax. Now the spread is really cool because it's Fort KO'd by Scald as well as Fort KO'd by Flare Blitz from Banded Adamant Entei, which it, you know, has to be Adamant if it wants Sacred Fire as well. But yeah, it's a set that I made that is pretty much a win condition versus his team. Because after it boosts up, Landorus can't beat it unless it boosts up. It boosts up along Mega Altaria and beats it outside of a crit. It beats Specs Keldeo after you, I think, boost once. You get off enough, or Keldeo might not be. Well, as long as you're cursed up, Keldeo can't 2-KO you after your second curse. So it beats Entei. It can 1v1 Porygon as well as Celebi. AV Electros, I don't really care about that. Togetic is beaten. Gastrodon, unless it has Clear Smog, is beaten, or even Opposing Curse, but I have ways to deal with that anyway. Steelix has to phase me out, and then Muck can't beat this anyway, so I really wanted Snorlax this game. It also gave me a fire resist for Entei, which could be a bit of a problem, and it just gave me a mon that could take special hits from his members, as well as some physical hits, because I'm primarily invested in the defensive stat, though obviously my SPDEF is higher. But 52 special defense ensures that Scald is a 3-hit KO, or 4-hit KO, excuse me, unless it burns. And same thing with Flare Blitz from Adamant Entei. So next up, these were two mons that I feel were 100% needed this game. Aggron. Now Aggron is there because Mega Altaria could be a problem. It can switch into a Scavalier rather well. It pretty much takes on any form of Mega Altaria that he wants to bring, whether it be special or physical. A special Modest Fire Blast could 2-hit KO me, but he has to predict it, and it's a roll as well. But Heavy Slam does so much. With an Adamant 12 attack nature, I'm doing like 38% to Keldeo, which is ridiculous. I'm doing like 38% to Landers after Intimidates. I OHKO any variant of Mega Altaria, even like max defense HP. Like this thing can beat it down in 2 hits, if not 1. As well as the fact that like Pokemon like a Scavalier take over 30% from Heavy Slam, just because this mon is big. Now, we have Stealth Rock on this because this is the Stealth Rock I chose to bring this game and gets it up most reliably. I run more SPDEF than physical defense because I don't need it necessarily. I take on Landers anyway. And max defense versus no defense, Earthquake damage isn't as much. Like it's not too noticeable. And I'm not going to be using this to take on Landers anyway unless I need to. This thing also outspeeds Togetic, which is pretty cool. Max defense Togetic can actually take a hit from this thing, but I do outspeed it, so that stops it from baton passing like after rocks or something, or after a bit of prior damage. Now, I have Toxic and Roar. I have Toxic because if he chooses to bring Dragon Dance, Cotton Guard, Mega Altaria, that has to also run Roost, and then whether Facade or Facade, I guess, I don't even care about Facade, like Return or something like that, or Frustration, whatever. And basically, if it gets lucky enough, I guess I could stall out my Aggron. If I don't crit it. That's what I mean by if it gets lucky enough. Because it has to Dragon Dance up to +6, and then it has to not be crit like a bunch of times. But I ran Toxic because I could deal with that. It also forces Pokemon like Electros, which might want to come in, which are like destroyed by Heavy Slam anyway. It does so much. Like Pokemon like Gastron, which Mega Aggro might lure in, maybe Keldeo, even Landers T. Toxic just wears them down, as well as Porygon being worn down. And then I ran Roar because this thing forces switches. It also stops Pokemon like Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, no. Well, yeah, Swords Dance on Landers, Dragon Dance on Altaria, Rock Polish on Landers, Subcom Mine Keldeo, Nasty Plot Celebi, all that things, pretty much it phases them out, and I really want this mon. And combined with the hazards, which you will be seeing later on, that I did choose to bring, I thought that Mega Aggron would just be a very, very, very solid member to bring. Now, next member, fresh off the Kyurem-Black is out. Kyurem-Black is unleashed, okay? We got my boy, Choice Specs Kyurem-Black. Timid nature to outspeed Landers T. Also speed ties with Modest Keldeo because we have HP Fire. But pretty much his resistances to Ice Beam, Escavalier, Keldeo, Entei, they don't have recovery. They don't have reliable recovery outside of like Rest. So Ice Beam is ridiculous. After Stealth Rock, it 2-hit KOs Entei, 2-hit KOs Keldeo, depending on spikes, and maybe if I got T-spikes up. But basically, this mon is just going to be doing exactly what its name implies. It beats down. It beats people down. I was going to say, first off the bench, because, you know, it's like baseball or whatever. That's what I was thinking of, but, like, I don't know. I just imagine the Kyurem-Black coming off the bench, like the bench breaking. This is beat down. What bench would hold this mon anyway? Anyway, so we have Ice Beam, which is pretty much the most spammable move. Hidden Power Fire is literally just there for Scavalier. Ice Beam is going to be dominating Steelix anyway if you choose to bring that. But it's just there to get an easy 2-hit KO on a Scavalier, whether it be Assault Vest or not. Earth Power is just a reliable answer for Entei to 100% OHKO it, as well as Steelix being beaten down, and Terrible obviously breaking through Sturdy. And we also have Draco Meteor, so I can drop Dracos, because outside with Togetic or a Mega Altaria that is Mega'd, if he hasn't Mega'd yet, Dracos are free. These are free as hell. I can drop a nice Draco on my opponent. Basically, Beatdown is just there to tank hits. It's so naturally bulky. It also helps me with my Celebi weakness a bit. He could be running Nasty Plot, Dazzling Gleam, but even then, like, he has to boost a lot, and I think I have Stealth Rock up, or even he has to either have Stealth Rock up or have a Life Orb to beat me. with this. And then Kyurem-Black is probably just going to be my lead of choice no matter what versus my opponent, because the only Mon that actually forces it out immediately is Keldeo. Outside of that, I guess a Scavalier as well, but everything else I'm pretty safe to stay in versus and spam Ice Beam, and that's pretty much what we're going to be doing with this team. Now next up we have Lucky, my Assault Vest, named after my boy Lucky Lad, my Assault Vest Tangrowth. Now this thing can take, I think 41% max from Spec Secret Sword, and about 40% max from, or maybe less than that, from Hydro Pump. But this thing was designed to take on Specs Keldeo, which could be a very big threat because that thing forces switches. Take on Specs Keldeo, take on Dragon Dance Mega Altaria because I do have Sludge Bomb, which is a 2-hit KO. I also have HP Ice for Dual Dance Landers or any Landers set. The scariest Landers set I think that he could bring would either be SD Fly, which I would have to switch around versus and scare it out, or like Life Orb, Sludge Wave, Earth Power. But if he's Life Orb, Sludge Wave, then Kyurem-Black does outspeed it. Sorry if you hear that thunder and rain in the background. It just started pouring. Holy crap. But Kyurem-Black can beat that down, and and Giga Drain obviously helps me take on Keldeo. And we also have Knockoff. Knockoff is just there for Porygon, for potentially a Scavalier, which is something that I can see switching in, or even Celebi, because they can both avoid Sleep Powder, whether it be because of its grass typing or because of Overcoat. Just to support it. We have Regenerator, of course, so we can switch in multiple times. I didn't feel like bringing Hazard Control because his only form of hazards is Stealth Rock on his team. And the team isn't necessarily weak to Stealth Rock. The only Pokemon taking quote-unquote super effective damage from Stealth Rock would be Kyurem-Black anyway. So Sludge Bomb is there. It also has that nice chance, 30% chance to poison Altaria, so it'll always be a 2-hit KO. It hits Celebi decently hard. It's just a decently strong move. And also hits Togetic for a nice amount of damage. And like I said, Hidden Power Ice is just there so Landorus does not get out of control, whether it be Dual Dance Landorus or any set. Again, the scariest sets will probably be SD Fly, the Hita set. But that would have to run like sub SD Fly or something like that, because my Panza can phase it out, of course. The Heavy Slam does so much damage to offensive Landers anyway. And then obviously Knockoff is just there, like I said, to support the Reuniclus that I have in the back. So next member on my team, my boy CTC Garbage. Nah, CTC the Garbodor coming off the bench. This set outspeeds Adamant Altaria. It can take one Specs Hydro Pump from Timid Keldeo. Specs Keldeo's Hydro Pump does like 90 to 107% if I'm not mistaken, if he runs Modest. Timid does not auto me. We're running a little bit of a heat set, I guess you could say. We were running Jolly with Fling and Light Ball. What that does is, if it connects with your opponent, which is 100% accurate, so I'm meaning like if, I don't know. Basically, this paralyzes a Mon. Pretty sure it also paralyzes Landorus T as well, because it paralyzes Flygon, which I've used it before. It does paralyze Landorus T 100%. If it does, if I have to do fling the light ball on it. Then we have Gunk Shot just to deal with Altaria if needed. Also hit Celebi, I guess, if he's not running Psychic. And Spikes plus T-Spikes, because like I said, his only defogger is Togetic. And unless he brings Muck versus me, Toxic Spikes are pretty free. And this Spike actually ensures so much. Like, Spike ensures that Spike plus T-Spike ensures that Keldeo can't switch into Kyurem-Black's Ice Beam, that Entei can't switch into it. Like, Keldeo's 2 KO'd by Ice Beam after Spike, and depending on rolls. But 2 Spikes ensure that Keldeo, sorry about that, I thought I heard something. 2 Spikes, it's just the lightning and thunder, my god, I'm going to turn on my light. 2 Spikes ensure that Keldeo is 2 KO'd by Ice Beam. And, yeah, this thing gets up hazards pretty safely versus, I guess, a Scavalier. Scavalier can't OHKO if anything, as well as like Porygon has Hazard Spike. Altaria is scared out, and like I said, I do have that Fling, so I can potentially paralyze something with this. And that Spike also helps my Reuniclus, which you'll see in a bit, take on a few Mons. And we have Aftermath because if any of his physical attackers, whether it be a physical Altaria or Entei or a Scavalier, end up knocking me out with a contacting move, they'll be taking that percentage because of Aftermath. And I felt that this was the Mon, or this was the set that would best support me. Originally we had also Explosion as sets that we were talking about. We had Clear Smog or Haze. But between Aggron, Tangrowth, and Snorlax, I feel like we're okay to not have Haze. As well as the fact that Kyurem-Black beats the special set of Altaria, which could be a bit more threatening, so does Snorlax. Snorlax also boosts alongside Dragon Dance, so I thought we were okay with that. The last member of the team, the only member of the Bronx Beartics from Season 1 who's coming out of the gate in the first battle of Season 2, Hard Body, my boy, Reuniclus. Actually, this was a girl. Reuniclus is supposed to be a girl, and I think shiny, if I'm not mistaken. But this is hard body. I am hard body. You are just Reuniclus. I'm using a regenerator set for once. I probably spam Magic Guard the most last year. I think I used regenerator maybe one battle out of like 17 different battles I believe I played. So we're using Assault Vest, regenerator, Reuniclus because Celebi being a threat. This thing has Signal Beam to take that thing on and pretty much OHKO it. Hidden Power Fire to hit a Scavalier, Psychic spammed, and then Knockoff. Now, Knockoff is really cool because with Stealth Rock up, Knockoff plus Hidden Power Fire, Knockout, Assault Vest, Scavalier, we're also faster than it. The Spadef means that I do take hits from Keldeo. If Keldeo goes for like Specs, Hyzer Pump, I'll be able to tell by Reuniclus' damage, and I can just pivot into my Tangrowth. Like I can pivot between Keldeo with these two. And the special attack ensures, like I said, that I knock out a Scavalier with knockoff plus HP fire after one spike or after Stealth Rock being up. It also ensures I 100% knock out Keldeo from full. And Signal Beam again is just a little bit of added insurance for Celebi, which could be a threat if it is Nasty Plot. But Assault Vest Reuniclus takes the hit anyway, and the speed is just there for, as I said, a Scavalier. So we're not using Magic Guard, which was typically my status absorber, as well as my hazard control last year. But that's because we have Snorlax to pretty much absorb status. And what I'll be playing is just getting up spikes, getting him beat down whenever I can, and getting a kill, and then just phasing between my Aggron as well as Tangrowth, and pivoting to my mons that I need to, and trying to put myself in a position where my opponent cannot set up with a specific mon. Obviously scout out his sets, but like let's say I have Landorus out versus I don't know, like Aggron, and I'm at the range where like Tangrowth is super low and I'm at the point where I can potentially lose to like a Rock Polish set. I'll go for Roar if it means I have to sack my Aggron to just force my opponent not to beat me. But yeah, that's the season 2 week 1 team that the Bronx Beartics are using versus the South Beach Slowkings and David. I hope you guys are hyped. If you guys missed pretty much my team breakdown, there's a playlist down below in the description, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys later. So goodbye.